Hey,
Hey
how you
man,
doing, man?
I'm right. How are you? How are you?
Hey,
This is
what's up, bro?
Shokan.
What's up?
I'm stealing his setup at the moment because mine is trash.
Oh, nice, man. So, how you doing? Tell us a little bit about yourself, man. Give us a
Oh
back.
yeah, yeah. Okay, so my legal name is Hawani Baxter. From New Zealand, best friends with Tashokan. My rap name is Valen, my stage name, and I've been living in New Zealand all my life. Never left the country. Been all around the country though, which is the country's nice. It's cool. And yeah, I've been making music for I'd say around about 3-4 years, but I've only got good like a year ago. So
Right on.
yeah.
What made you want to start making music?
Well, I've loved music all my life. I haven't really made music properly until I was like 15. Um, and I can't really play any instruments. I'm learning how to play guitar now, but I still am not that good at it. But yeah, I've loved music all my life. I've loved listening to music, singing along to music, and I just decided one day, hey, yeah, I think this is for me. I really want to do this. And then, I just got it started. Wasn't good at the start, but you just got to keep grinding to get good.
Yeah, for sure. Is there any specific musician that you feel like really influenced you to start making music? Like, I gotta make music like this guy.
Oh, yeah. Let's see. So, yeah, okay. Denzel Curry, one of my biggest influencers. I love the man. He's my favorite artist at the time.
Shout out Miami,
Still
bro.
now. For real, South Florida, Carol City. So
Yeah,
good. Yeah, I've been bumping with his shit for like 3 years, 4 years now. Ever since like I heard Imperial, I was like, nah, I want to make something like that. I want to do something like that. And it didn't come like easy at the start, but like I can now hopefully make good enough music. And yeah, also another big influence, X. Shout out X. Been listening him to since I was like 14. Also Peep when I feel sad. I listen to Peep when I feel sad. I make Peep like music, like to Shokan. And let's see who else. Also listen to a lot of rock when I was a kid. So if I'm ever in a grumpy mood, I just like make some real hard banger and try to use like a metal scream, which is kind of fun. Shout out Rage Against the Machine. Shout out System of a Down. Those are my two biggest ones.
nice, man. Is there anybody specific in your life that, has influenced your music career?
Yeah, quite a lot of people. Um, First of all, my mother. The struggles she's been through. I like writing about that and writing about how it's affected me personally. So my mother, I'm sure she won't mind I say this, but she's a recovering alcoholic and drug abuser, and um, it's been pretty tough living with her. I had to move out when I was 13 to my grandmother's house. I still live there now. Going to move out soon because I just turned 18. But yeah, about that. And then also a couple of my friends they passed away sadly. One in year I say year 10, so that would have been when I was like 16, 17, probably 16, yeah. And then 7 still 16 as well. My boy Stretch, or we used to call him Stretch, that was his nickname. And James Marsh, he was one of my close friends. They both died. Really inspired me to make music about something that's important to me, something that speaks to the heart. Also, everyone who's had a breakup that makes music, they write breakup music. Um, and one of my exes, that's when I started to make like proper music. I call it proper music because like that's when people started to listen to my music and be like, oh yeah, this guy's actually kind of good. He kind of got bars. So yeah.
Nice, man. Do you do you have any aspirations for, where you want to go with your career? Do you have a vision for it, or you kind of just, rolling with the punches, so to speak?
I was rolling with the punches for a couple of years. Like, okay, I like making music. This is just like a hobby. I like to do this. But now, I've done a couple of shows, like locally, and I've decided that I obviously want to do more of that. I love being on stage. I love performing. I love seeing like people react to my music in a good way, like live. So I want to perform a lot more. Uh, I would still be performing now at the moment, but I haven't in like a year because one of another local rapper actually banned us from the local hall, so that was nice. I'll
Oh,
Yeah, well, that's it sucked, but like I just wait till I'm 18, and I am now, so that's good. So I can start performing in clubs. Hopefully, they'll get some more attention towards me. I also just want a lot of people to get messages through my songs and like relate to them a lot, because that's kind of like a really important thing that I think about. I don't really just want to make uh just songs that have no meaning to them and people like, oh yeah, this is hard, and like they just listen to it and don't really think about anything. I don't like making that kind of music usually.
I feel you. Is there any specific, venue or city that you aspire to play in?
Um, yeah, there is. I want to like not a specific venue, but I really want to go to Russia and perform. Russians are crazy, man. Russians love everything. I love Russians. They're so cool. And
Yeah.
also Sweden as well. There's this one dude in Sweden who like messes with mine and Tashokan Chase music like all the time. It's so good. Shout out Young Lover. Shout out Young Lover. As Shay said, yeah.
Hell yeah, man. Yeah, that would be interesting to go to Sweden. I know, like, strangely, um, they make really good pop music there. Like, if you look at a lot of the big pop artists from, early 2000s to even now, you'd be surprised, like, a lot of people that produce their records are Swedish, because they
Right, yeah,
have
yeah.
uh I'm not sure exactly how it works, but they have some type of like, you can get free music education from, like, the Swedish government will, like, help with you going to school for music, I think,
Oh
or
really?
something like that. Yeah.
That's pretty
Like,
cool.
yeah, there's I it was a long time ago that I read the article, but there's something about, like, there's a specific reason why Swedish people are, like, good at production, and it has something to do with how they have easy access to school for that type of stuff.
Right, yeah, yeah.
So
Most
that's
definitely.
that's pretty interesting. And the first guy that I interviewed was from Sweden, um, as well. And pretty cool guy to talk to. So yeah,
Sick, sick.
Swedish people, good. Shout out to all the Swedes and Paradox for doing our first interview.
Hey, shout
Uh,
out Paradox.
but yeah, man, do you have any new projects coming up that we should be on the lookout for? Like, what are you working on?
So usually what I work on is just things I feel at the moment. And so I've been in a pretty good mood lately. And when I'm in a good mood, I can't really write music, so I have to wait until I'm in a bad mood. But I have some like bad mood music that I've been just mixing, mastering, getting all the production right. And I have a track coming out with Tashokan actually. Uh, it's like the first time he's ever rapped properly, and he
Yeah.
spat on it. He definitely spat on it. I like it a lot, and that should be probably coming out in like a month or so, maybe a couple months. And just on my SoundCloud, I like just putting out random stuff that I make at the time. It doesn't have to be like really high quality stuff, but my big projects are the ones on Spotify and the ones I spend a lot of time making. So there's probably going to be like one or two of those to come out within between now and December, and then next year I'm probably just gonna make a whole lot. I really want to make a lot of music next year.
Oh yeah, man. What's your writing process like? What how do you go about that?
All right, okay. So my writing process, like as I as explained, like my good mood music, it's okay, but it's not like when I like to write. I like to produce and I like to write when I'm in a certain mood, like I'm angry or I'm sad, and I like making a beat or a song based on that, and more not just like, oh, I'm sad. It's like I'm sad and this is why, or I'm grumpy and this is why. Like a music, sorry, a track I made like a year ago, Hazard. That was just that was when all the protests were popping off,
Yeah.
And like I mess with the protests. Yeah, climate change is like horrible. We need to do something about that. But I saw all these people, they were protesting, but as soon as they got home, they were just going back to their regular lives. They weren't really doing much about it to help. And I just saw that and I got kind of mad. I got kind of grumpy. So I made a song about that. And I just needed to tell people, hey, you got to wake up. And one protest isn't enough. You got to keep doing stuff. You got to keep like being active in the community to help with what's really going on. And same thing that happens with just most protests. Like I just see people, they they seem that like they care about the cause, but not enough to do anything about it. And
Right.
that's really what I did in that song, Hazard. And also my other album, Ten Commandments. I made a whole album just based on the way society wants people to live. And I just thought that I should portray how society wants you to live through these tracks and why it's bad that you should keep following these rules. So stuff like that, if that makes sense.
Yeah, man. Do you think about like when you're writing, do you think about the structure of the song, or do you like to just like get out the whole idea and then structure the lyrics like to the songs afterwards? Like as far as like the creation of like lyrics to music, how would you typically go about that?
I That's a good question. I do that in a lot of different ways. I either sometimes write poems or I just write in a book like things I'm mad about or things I'm sad about, and then I look at it and I'm like, okay, how am I going to structure this into a proper song? And then I start making lyrics. Either that or I just make some lyrics. I look at them, go, no, that's not good enough. And then I go back to brainstorming. Like if I see like some ideas written down, and then I look at those ideas and I think, yeah, I can do something about that. Then I'll start writing about it. But sometimes I just look at like a whole list of ideas that I've had, and I just don't see how I can like portray it into music, so I don't really do anything with it.
Right.
So I have like a couple pages just full of like ideas for songs that I haven't really done because I couldn't find a proper way to structure to make it into a proper song. But when I do, then I like having a well fleshed out idea. Apart from when I make like SoundCloud stuff, it's like, oh, I'm grumpy, you know.
I feel you. And you produce as well?
Yeah, I produce. I've only gotten really um okay at producing in the last year though. So I really start to have more confidence in my beats, which means I start to have more confidence in my music. I've also produced for another couple of people, just people like my friends in the KC scene, which is Carpety Coast. This is in New Zealand. Yeah, so I just produce for the homies, like my boy Sinclip. He's a cool dude. He makes some bangers, man, and I really want to start producing more and like actually getting people to like buy my beats because that's another way of getting funding. I wouldn't say funding, just like a steady flow of income. Yeah, because I've just started to put my stuff out on Track Train now, like my beats, but only like a few of them just to test the water, see how everyone reacts to it. And then if people start like liking my beats, then I'm just gonna produce more and put that more on Track Train. Yeah.
Right on, man. And what DAW do you use?
So I used to use GarageBand, and I used that for like 2 years, and then I realized, yo, GarageBand is not the wave. Because GarageBand is not. I don't know how Suicide Boys does it, man. They do everything on fucking GarageBand. That is crazy. That's incredible how they do that. But no, I upgraded to FL. I just had to save up for like a couple months. It was really worth it though. I love using FL. And it's really easy, simple to use. There are a lot of plugins that you can get that aren't that expensive and still do the job amazingly well.
Yeah, what's some of your favorite plugins that you've been using?
Um, so there's actually a stock plugin that's a VST
Yeah.
called Flex. They make those sounds are really good. There's like a because that's the VST, and then you can go like onto a like a little website on that VST and buy kind of like sounds from that, and then you can edit it yourself. It's really good. I like that. All my homies use Omnisphere as well. Obviously, that's good. Growth speed. Everyone uses growth speed. That
Yeah.
that makes music around here. So yeah.
Hell yeah, man. Yeah, it's crazy to see the evolution of FL whenever like whenever I was young teenager, like I think like 13, you could download it for free off of their website, not the demo, like just full on
Damn.
download it. And to see it evolve into like a main player of like what most trap beats are made off of FL nowadays. Like
Yeah.
most trap producers, that's what they use. And I remember, that's kind of what me and all the people I was growing up around, like we learned on, just because that's what we could afford. It was free, and the evolution of all the VSTs and plugins they have nowadays, it wasn't like that back then. So it's been incredible to see like how quickly they've developed their DAW for sure.
Yeah, no, music producing electronically has really gone like it's gone leap years just in the span of like 2 years in
Yeah.
terms of how simple it is to do, in terms of how nice it sounds. It's just really simple to do now, and not saying that it's like simple to make music, but it's much more simple than it would have been say like 10 years ago.
Yeah, for sure. Every year the plugins just get like more user friendly.
Yeah,
Everything
exactly.
more user friendly, for
Mm.
sure. But do you feel like, because of COVID and everything, have you been able to make a lot more music, or how has COVID affected your music career?
Okay, so COVID, when we had lockdown in New Zealand, that was like for 2 months. I made a lot of music. That's when I made like a full album. Um, it was really good to do, but then again, I couldn't really go out and experience a lot of things, which made the writing process a little bit more tough because
Right.
I like experiencing things and then writing about it. But yeah, apart from that, it's been I could have used my time like a lot more during lockdown. Like I did use my time a lot more just producing, making music, but then again it also made it less creative. So there was a lot of songs that I made during lockdown that I didn't release because I just didn't feel like it was good enough. I didn't have enough structure in it. I didn't have enough ideas in it. But because we're out of lockdown now and everyone's in New Zealand is kind of free to roam around, things have kind of gone back to normal. Although hopefully it stays normal.
Right.
I feel like it might go back into another lockdown soon, but we'll see what comes up. You know.
Yeah, I've seen clips from over there, like on social media and stuff, that like there's like full on raves, like big parties and events happening.
Oh
and
yeah, yeah.
and have you guys, I don't know much about the news. I just see that like with like producers I might follow, or like DJs or whatever. And has that, affected your guys's cases or numbers? Has there been a spike in it? Do you feel like
Um, No, not really, because most of the cases we have aren't from community transmission. They're from people coming back from overseas into New Zealand, and then somehow they like escape because you're supposed to have like 2 weeks of isolation period before you actually get back into like New Zealand, and like you can move around freely. You can't do that for 2 weeks, but people somehow get out, and then that's what happened in Auckland. I'd say like a couple months ago, people got out and they got all the way like down the country, which made everyone a little bit scared. Like, oh, we're going to go into lockdown again. So that made Auckland, which is one of the bigger cities in New Zealand, go into lockdown again. And after like 5 weeks, I'd say all the cases went down a bit. Everyone's doing fine. But yeah, we usually have like 2 to 5 at the most cases a day. So there's not a lot of transmission. Yeah.
yeah, it's looking like we're gonna go back in lockdown here in the States. I feel like we've completely mismanaged and
Yeah.
the handling of it, our
Yeah.
cases
Yeah.
are always rising and stuff. And like we just had our elections, and our previous president is like trying to do like a recount, trying to act like he actually won even though he didn't.
He's
And
an idiot, man. He's
yeah.
so stupid, bro. He's so stupid, bro.
Yeah, it's a little embarrassing, because it's like we we voted him in. That means
Yeah.
that like 4 years ago, majority of our country thought that that was the best we could do.
Yeah, I know.
It's
That's so
embarrassing.
strange how that happened. It is
Yeah,
very embarrassing. And
yeah,
like one of the most powerful countries in the world, and then like their leader, well, their previous leader is just like throwing a tantrum, like, no, I'm not gonna leave. You can't make me. So what?
yeah, man. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's been quite a roller coaster. I usually like I'm not like super into politics, but I usually like would pay attention to the news. And for the past 4 years, I just like after his first few months, I'm like, dude, I can't even stomach this. I can't
Yeah.
watch like
Yeah.
like
Some of those headlines, bro, they're crazy. Like, how do they exist?
yeah, yeah, it's really good to hopefully, we'll have him out. I think that Joe Biden, the guy coming in, he's not a savior or nothing, but I just think he's like normal,
He's better than Trump. He's
he's
better
just
than Trump.
normal.
Yeah.
And so we'll probably be able to get it like under control with like
Mm.
an actual adult
Yeah.
calling the shots.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So we'll see, man. I'm really dying to get back to. I love going to live shows. Like that's like my favorite thing to do. And
Mm.
we can't really do that. Everybody, like all of our like clubs and like venues and stuff have to run at like 25% capacity.
Yeah.
Um
Damn, that must suck.
yeah, but then like the states have their own laws of how they do it. So some states are like they'll open up for a couple weeks and then the cases will skyrocket and then they have
Yeah.
to like change what they're doing. And it's just
Didn't
been
that happen like a lot in Florida? Is
yeah,
that right? Yeah.
yeah, where so like I live in Miami and I had a friend that was DJing in Fort Lauderdale that's like about 25 miles away or something like that.
Mm.
And I went up there and there's just like it was a smaller venue, probably held about like I'd say about 150 people or something like that. And
Mm.
they just check your temperature at the beginning, and then when you go in, there's like nobody wearing mask, and it's packed. It's like if
Jesus.
one person was carrying COVID, like all of us could have got it easily.
That, yeah,
It was
most
like there's no way that it was it just that shouldn't have been happening, I don't think. But whatever. It's like at what point do we get to go back living our lives?
mm. Really.
So yeah, man, I definitely I hope that we can get to where you guys are at soon. That'd be nice.
I mean, I hope so too. Yeah. I mean, the vaccine and everything. Wasn't there like a vaccine tested with like 90% people? I wouldn't say cured, but they'd stopped having symptoms.
Yeah, I think I'm not 100% sure on where they're at about making it like accessible to everybody
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
stuff like that. But yeah, I've heard there's a vaccine that should be able to handle get this like situated. So that'll be good. Um how do you this a little bit off the music topic, but how do you feel about vaccines? Like if the vaccine comes out, are you gonna like get it? Or some people don't like vaccines and don't want
I know. I'm an anti-vaxxer. No, I take my medicine. No,
to.
I like taking my medicine.
Right
Uh,
on.
yeah, no. I just find it like strange because it's a medically approved thing. Like they're not gonna give you something Like the government isn't permitted to give you something that they say is one thing and then it's the other. Like they have to be completely transparent with what it is.
Right.
And if they are completely transparent with what it is, I don't see the reason why I shouldn't be doing it. And if there's like a couple side effects, which it usually is for vaccines,
Right.
like I don't know, you get a bit of a rash. It's better than having COVID and dying, you know?
Yeah, for sure, man. So, do you feel like, like reflecting on all this like crazy times and stuff that you'd be able that you've had any inspiration for like your music when you like look back on what has happened this year?
Oh, this year has been it's been incredible. Not in a good way.
Yeah,
Not a good incredible.
right.
It's just been a wild ride. And yeah, there will be a few comments I'll be making about this year in my letter tracks, most definitely. It's been an interesting one. And yeah, no, like so much has happened and it's so hard to like even like think about what's happened because so many things went on in like the last 12 months, which is like so weird to think. There have been massive protests, which is good. Um Attempts of defunding a police state in New York did get defunded, did it not?
Yeah,
Yeah, it did, which is very good. Props to the protesters for that one. And let's see, like a pandemic, like a lot of people dying. It really shows how governments are run as well and how well those governments are run.
yeah,
Which like I feel um considering America on how it's one of the most popular, well, not well, it is the most popular and it's the most powerful country, and it can't really contain a virus with like the most amount of funding that any other country has.
right,
It's just a bit surprising. It just really shows how um, what happens when something bad happens to everyone, and there are specific people who stand up and take the task head on and they can do it, and then other people just aren't capable of doing so.
right. Yeah, it's something that I feel like is definitely one of our weaknesses on one hand, but it can be a strength as well, where our states have so much power to like vote and pass their own
Mm,
stuff. It makes
yeah,
it
that's really
to,
good.
it makes it to where when we need to all be on like the same page, and it makes it really hard of something to like deal with like a virus. But
Mm,
we have a a strength is like, you know um like Oregon just recently passed like all drugs are legal for possession. Like
yeah,
in the state of Oregon, you can possess like small amounts of like every drug, right?
yeah,
And there a lot of liberal, like more open-minded people live there. But
mm,
in a place like, say, I don't know, like South Carolina or something, there's like a lot of like more religious, church going, like older, not forward thinking people. So why would they want that type of law in their area? Right.
yeah, yeah.
So
I
like I
feel
could see a strength in where it like helps represent like the people that are actually from that area.
yeah, because not
But
everyone's the same, especially depending on where they live. So yeah,
right,
that's a very good point.
right, but in a situation like in, we all need to like get on the same page to handle a pandemic. It's been an absolute
Mm,
nightmare.
yeah, yeah,
For sure.
yeah.
But yeah, man, what as far as like moving forward in your music career, what do you feel like is the most important thing for you to do to get where you want to go? Like what's your main driving focus that helps you like create and like achieve your goals?
Creating for the sake of creating, pretty much. If I like, I want to blow up. Obviously, everyone wants to blow up. Everyone wants to be famous, but I want to blow up with what I feel would be the right way to blow up, which would be like still spreading like a message, still telling people like uh, there are things out there and this is why, and just getting people to relate as well. And also, if I somehow do manage to get big, which hopefully I do, then I want to bring all the homies up as well.
Oh yeah,
I don't want it just to be me at the top. I just want I want a lot of people, like a massive group, like representing like a massive clique, like the clique I'm in, CLVS Coma Limit. If any of us ever blow, we're lifting each other up, we're supporting each other, and that's really how it's gonna go.
right on, man. Do you have any advice for, somebody that's first like starting to get into music? What, advice like helps you moving forward?
Yeah, don't quit. When you think of quitting, don't, just keep pushing forward. Let's see. If you think that something's not good, maybe it is, maybe it isn't. You have to just take a little break from that. You gotta do whatever else you have to do. Take a look at it again. If it's still not good, just try something else. You'll eventually be making a banger one day.
Oh yeah, man. And I got one more question for you to wrap up. Um, what are you most grateful for in your life?
Hmm. Let me see. My MacBook. It's
Your
my
man.
MacBook, bro. I bring that little puppy everywhere, man. I've had it for like 5 years. Hasn't left my side in 5 years. If anything ever happened to my precious little baby, I would be so grumpy. But yeah, that's what I'm most thankful for.
Hell yeah, man. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to do the interview, man. I really appreciate it.
Yeah,
And
I appreciate you, man. Thank you for having me on.
yeah, no problem. I'll get everything put together and we'll get you up on the website.
Yeah, all good. Keep in touch. Yeah, love being on here. Love talking to you. You're a great person. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, man. All right, have a good one.
Yeah, you too. Later, man.
Peace.